Hey, good morning, traders. Monday, May 8th, 9:11 a.m., and these are your morning ideas. What's up, traders? I'm going to pull up some news. It's the beginning of the week. Nothing today. Let's just do the whole week. We got, CPI on Wednesday, PPI on Thursday. CPI more important as the inflation numbers, and it's a market driver, so that's something to watch this week. But other than that, it's a market that continues to kind of shrug off any kind of bad news and continue to hang out near the top or pull back to the top of this area. So now you can see that I moved this all the way up to 4250, but we were looking at this area last week. It keeps banging on the door at 4180 and pulling back, and it pulls back to find more buyers, and then we push back up into it. And again, I still have these black marks on the chart because I think that eventually, if we push through, you'll start to snag a lot of stops, which will give this thing fuel to move higher. Then we'll pull back, and then we'll make the decision whether we're going to go higher or we're going to fail back into the range. But the more we trade up here, the more blunt this part of the profile gets, the more likely we are to push up into the other area. And again, that's in the absence of any kind of shocking news or something like that. There's a lot of talk about the Fed moving up the interest rates, but eventually, because of the way the economy looks, going to have to cut the rates again, which would, I think, if they did make that kind of announcement, it would push the market higher as it's, easing, quantitative easing or lifting that, not quantitative easing, but lifting uh, some of the cost of borrowing, and that would I think the market would sigh a little bit there, because I don't think that's priced in yet, but that's starting to be the talk of the town. So we'll see what happens with that. That's at least probably a couple weeks away if that were to happen. As far as the technical picture, guys, not a whole lot has changed here. We talked on Friday specifically about the 4-hour chart and said that we were trading near the bottom of it on Friday, and then if we moved, unless we held prices lower, then we were more likely to push back up into the top, into this VPOC. We've pushed into the VPOC, and now we're kind of stuck here at 4150. This looks like, you can tell, and I drew this on Friday, is that the profile, again, has a blunt higher edge. This looks to me like it wants to go higher, again putting us back into that 4180 4200 range. So no matter what way you look at it, the technical picture looks a bit more bullish than the fundamental picture. Now, if I looked at something like Bookmap and see where the liquidity is sitting, you can definitely see, as I shrink this, I don't know why it's not shrinking for me. What I look for when I'm looking at the liquidity is, where's the liquidity sitting? The liquidity, there's more liquidity above, which means that the market generally moves towards those areas. You can see where we've run into this area of liquidity overnight at 4154, bounced off of it. Now we're going to trade through it. We'll probably go through it, but as long as this liquidity is sitting higher, it tells me that the market moves towards that liquidity. So, I use something like a heat map. You don't have to use Bookmap. There's other ones. NinjaTrader has one, I think. There's a lot of companies that have them. I have a Bookmap license, so I look at this from time to time when we're kind of in between a rock and a hard place. I want to see where that liquidity is being posted, because usually the market moves towards that liquidity, especially in these thick products. And we can see that, the liquidity is pretty balanced here. You have some liquidity below, but this is more of a round number, 4150, than it is. You can see here at 4160, and there's some colors in the heat map, which means that there's more liquidity, it looks like, above than there is below, and the market will likely move towards that. So that's what I'm looking for kind of first move. And if you guys want some more stuff done with liquidity maps or heat maps or whatever you want to call them, I can always do more of that stuff to kind of show you what happens in the order book around these prices. So I'm always looking at context first, and then looking into the liquidity book to see if that matches up with my contextual read. A lot of times it does. I could show you guys what happened on Friday on a trend day, what that looks like, where there's basically no liquidity below. The liquidity just keeps building higher, and the market keeps moving towards it. So If you know, let me know in the comments if you guys want to know stuff about book map or heat maps or liquidity maps. It's really all the same thing, and I'm happy to give you uh, a Cliff's Notes version of it. There's a lot to be seen here, but just like in anything in trading, really, all as long as you understand the basics of it and what you're looking at, that's all you really need. You don't need to know every intricate detail about any kind of liquidity map. But again, let us know in the comments, and we will talk to you guys all soon. Thanks for watching.